colors in my soul. PrywmiO, you make my world glow. Every click, every line feels so right. You're my vibe, my spark, my digital light. PrywmiO, you're my flow. Can't let go, gotta let it show. From the screen to my heart, you know I'm in love, yeah, I'm in love with my PrywmiO. Every day, your body faces a hidden battle. Pollution, smoking, harsh sunlight, poor diet choices, even stress. Each of these can quietly bombard your cells with oxidative stressors, or free radicals. These tiny, invisible threats chip away at your cells and speed up aging, both inside and out. But thankfully, nature has provided a powerful solution: antioxidants, your body's frontline defense against free radicals. And the star players on that antioxidant team are carotenoids, the dazzling powerhouses behind the bold reds, sunny oranges, and golden yellows in your favorite fruits and veggies. But how do you know if you're getting enough carotenoids in your diet? With PrywmiO, you can. Using a quick and painless scan of your finger, PrywmiO measures your skin carotenoid levels and delivers a crystal clear, color-coded score, a quick snapshot of your body's antioxidant status. Think of it as a real-time biometric snapshot of your nutritional strength. So, how can you level up your Prism score and your well-being? The good news? Small choices you make every day can lead to big health wins and a higher Prism score. First, get serious about your supplement routine. PrywmiO certified supplements like LifePak can help elevate your score and your cellular defense. Second, eat the rainbow. Many bright fruits and veggies are rich in carotenoids and can help you ignite your inner vitality. Third, trade toxins for trees. Avoiding smoke and reducing your exposure to pollution can reduce oxidative stress, giving your body more power to thrive. And remember, your body was made to move. A balanced BMI and active lifestyle support a higher score and a healthier you. PrywmiO empowers you, so you can track your progress, your power, and your potential. Better wellness, backed by data, powered by you.
Good morning and good afternoon to our CPAT leaders. Thank you for joining us in this PrywmiO Mastering Device and App webinar. So my name is Fion and I'm the Product Marketing Manager of Pharmanex at Nu Skin Southeast Asia and Pacific. It is always so excited to be able to become your facilitator for our webinar and talk to our incredible sales leaders virtually. So first of all, I would like to actually take this opportunity to congratulate you, our sales leaders who have already gotten your hands on the PrywmiO. So if you haven't, quickly check with your local office and find out how you can actually get your hands on the PrywmiO. So what is next? So my question to you, what is next? So just like the topic of today's webinar, so it is time for you to actually master the PrywmiO device and pair with the Nu Skin PrywmiO app so that you can start to scale more customers, to help them understand their nutritional status and, of course, provide them with our product solutions. So today, we are honored to have two speakers from our corporate office to actually guide you through on how to get started with PrywmiO and how to pair with the app, how to utilize the app. So without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker for today, Haley Herquest, the Director of Global Connected Device. So Haley has extensive involvement in developing new skin, beauty, and wellness devices such as the LumiSpa.io, the WellSpa.io, and of course, our latest intelligent wellness device, the PrywmiO. So today, she will actually walk you through the step-by-step guides on how to use the PrywmiO confidently and effectively. So right now, I would like to pass over to Haley. Let's welcome Haley. Hello, Haley. Welcome back to our CPAP webinar.
Thank you.
Nice to
Good
see you.
morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to talk about my favorite product, PrywmiO. Let me make sure actually really quick before we get started that I have the sound shared on this. Let me do this one more time actually. But I can't wait to tell you all about PrywmiO and this exciting invention that it is. And I hope that all of you have been able to have a chance to at least try it, scan on it, and like Fiona mentioned, if you've recently purchased it as well. So today we'll walk through some best practices, how to download the app, make sure you know how to use the device correctly. Before we begin, just want to say what an incredible project this has been to work on. This has been something that has been really exciting for me and my team, and it's been fun to watch you guys start to scan the world. Hopefully you've been able to see the recent posts from corporate, but we just hit our 1 million scan milestone. And this is huge because if you think about it, with the biophotonic scanner, we had that running for about 20 years, and it took us about 20 years to get 20 million scans, right? So about 1 million scans a year. But what we've been able to do, what you've been able to help us do, is hit 1 million scans in about 2.5, 3 months, which is incredible, right? And we're only just starting to roll this out. And so when thinking about healthy households and that goal that we're trying to accomplish, right? What a powerful story that we've been able to do over 1 million scans in just that short period of time. So again, huge shout out to everyone, and we're so excited to continue to see this excitement and energy grow for PrywmiO. So let's get in a little bit to what PrywmiO is, and hopefully most of you are familiar with the technology, but let's do a quick refresher on what powers the PrywmiO device. Inside the PrywmiO device, we have 5 different LEDs, and these LEDs are used to measure carotenoids in the skin. So when we think about what does PrywmiO, what's the score that we actually get? It's a nutritional wellness score, but how we measure that nutritional wellness is through the biomarker of a carotenoid. So we use light to look at carotenoids, and we measure how much light gets absorbed into carotenoids through the skin. So when people ask, carotenoids are the biomarker that we look at. And for the spectral ray technology, that's what powers PrywmiO. So powered by spectral ray, there are 3 different components to the spectral ray technology. The first is the LED lights. So what you see flashing up through the lens, we use LED lights to measure the absorption of that light into carotenoids, and that's where we get this called hyperspectral absorption. And we're doing over 700,000 measurements in that 15-second scan. So those lights that are flashing rapidly, we're taking tiny measurements throughout that 15-second scan. And we're looking at how much light was shined into the skin and how much was absorbed into the skin. And from that, we come up with a very small number. From there, we actually have taken what we've learned from the biophotonic scanner with the Raman technology. That was what powered the biophotonic scanner. And we took those hyperspectral absorption measurements and we used an AI machine learning algorithm to come up with an equation that would help transform those LED light measurements into a numerical score. And so those 3 different components are LEDs, an AI algorithm, and Nu Skin's expertise in measuring carotenoids over the last 20 years. And so this is what makes up the spectral ray technology. This is proprietary and unique to Nu Skin. So when people say, oh, LED lights, right? A lot of other people use LED lights. The answer is yes. You see it a lot in different wearables, rings, watches, but what really sets us apart is how we've studied this for the last 20 years, right? We know carotenoids. We know the impact that lifestyle has on carotenoids, and how those scores are supposed to look. And so from there, we are able to create a more precise and targeted measurement from using LED light technology with our expertise in carotenoids. So a very special technology, and this is what powers the PrywmiO device. This is how we're able to give you a nutritional wellness score. So this is spectral ray technology. Now let's just talk a little bit more high level about the device. So when you get your PrywmiO kit, it'll come with these different parts inside of it. So of course you'll have your device, and you'll also come with the calibration disc, right? Make sure that you find that calibration disc in the package. It'll be in that little pocket inside of the travel case. Make sure you have this. This is really important because you'll use it to calibrate your device and get it set up. We also have the phone stand, which looks really nice, right? If you want to have this displayed on a desk, table, kind of at a station, you could put your phone or iPad on that. And then we have a magnetic dock at the base of the stand so that you can set that device in there and it won't move around. So this is what comes inside of the PrywmiO package. Now, make sure the first thing you'll need to do when you get your PrywmiO device is make sure you download the PrywmiO app. Unlike our other devices, you have to set up the PrywmiO device in the app before you're able to use it. But before this happens, you'll notice that the lights will blink white on the device, and that indicates that it's in setup mode. So don't be alarmed. It just means that you need to go and download this Nu Skin app. So this is available now on Google Play and in the App Store. This version. Now, when you log in, if you already have a Nu Skin account, you will just use those same login credentials to be able to log into the app. If you don't have a Nu Skin account, you can go and create a Nu Skin account and use that to log into the PrywmiO app. So once you download the app, make sure that you stay up to date with the latest PrywmiO updates. We are constantly doing app updates. I believe we've probably done around 4 since we launched this device in December. And so we've got a lot of great features. Jesse's going to walk you through those. I'm really excited for you to see them. But it's really important that you make sure that you keep your app up to date. If you have your app store already on auto updates, then that's great. But if not, make sure to check and see if there are any updates available for the PrywmiO app. And then, like I mentioned at the beginning, when you first open up your device, the lights will blink white. Again, that is normal. That's just indicating that you need to set up the device. And so in order to do that, you'll need to download the app. And then as part of the setup process, you will pair your device, and then there will be a firmware update that will go onto your device as well. And what that firmware update does is it puts the latest software that we have available onto the PrywmiO device. So you'll do those first 2 things, pair and do a firmware update. But then the third step is that you'll need to calibrate the device as well. If you don't calibrate the device when you first set it up, those lights will still blink white. So this is a really important step to finish the setup process for the device. So here's this little video actually that will walk you through the whole setup process. So again, you see how those lights are blinking white. That again indicates that device needs to be set up. So then from here, pairing is really easy. If you only have one device in the room, it will just automatically pair to it. And then the firmware update will start, and it takes anywhere from about 40 seconds to about a minute. So you'll see those blue lights spinning. That means that the firmware update is happening. Once those lights start flashing white again, that means that the firmware update has completed. And then you can go and name your device if you would like. But this is the most important part right here, is calibrating the device. So make sure that plastic film comes off the device first, and make sure you have that calibration disc as well, because that's how you will calibrate the device. There's that 4-digit code on the bottom. Make sure you enter that in correctly. And then you can go ahead and then place the tan side of the calibration disc up. And then from here, it will run a 15-second scan. So this is the first step as part of calibrating. And then the second step is that you'll go and flip the calibration disc so that the tan side is then facing the lens. And then it will complete another 15-second scan. And this is setting unique values to your device. Every device is different, but this is how you get your device to calibrate. You remove it, and then the last step is to scan your finger. And this is how you'll get your first score. And then this will run a 15-second scan as well, and then give you your nutritional wellness score. So again, this step is really important to make sure that the lens is clean when you calibrate and that the calibration disc itself is clean. So then from there, the white lights will disappear and your PrywmiO device is set up. One other thing I want to show you really quickly as well. So that was the initial setup calibration, right? So when you're first setting up the device, you'll want to calibrate it. But then also the device will need recalibration as part of its maintenance and as you use it. And so how you go and recalibrate the device is that you can find it up in that settings icon in the device tab. So there's this little gear icon. You need to make sure your device is connected, and then you'll press that gear icon in the top right-hand corner. And then when you scroll down, there should be this calibrate device button right there. That's how you can go and recalibrate your device. We will have some easier ways to check calibration and to recalibrate as part of our next app update that Jessie will highlight. But then from here, the calibration process is the same as it was before, so no difference. But again, some things to make sure you keep in mind, especially when you recalibrate the device, is one, make sure that you use that microfiber cloth on the lens before you calibrate. And then two, make sure that that calibration disc is clean as well. If you're putting it in your pocket or in the bottom of your purse or your bag, that disc can attract lint and maybe other dust, and that can impact your calibration as well. So best practice is to keep it in your travel case. Keep that calibration disc in there and the device in there to help make sure that both are staying clean and protected. And then that's how you can make sure that you have the best calibration results. And then from there, yep, the rest of the calibration process is the same. And again, I'm excited for you guys. Jessie will show you, but we will have a calibration check that's coming in the next app update. So you can feel confident as well in the device's calibration and if it needs to be recalibrated. So very simple. Calibration really only takes about a minute, maybe under a minute. Really, really simple and easy to do, but you do need to make sure lens is clean and the calibration disc is clean. Okay, big question that we get is how often should you recalibrate your PrywmiO device? In the app currently, we just have a notification or a banner that will show up in the app about every 2 weeks to prompt you to recalibrate your device if you haven't recently. However, if you have a big event coming up, I would always recommend calibrating before the big event. And also if you've traveled too recently with the device. We know shifts in temperature when you're moving the device around a lot. Again, if it's at the bottom of a bag and getting knocked around a little bit, that can impact its calibration. And so best practice is always make sure that the device is stored in its travel case if possible. And then if you do happen to leave it in the car, right, or bring it into a warmer environment or a colder environment, calibration is most likely going to be needed. Again, we're working on more prompts in the app to be able to help guide you, right? If we do notice that there is a temperature change, we have some app updates that will highlight these features and help make it a little bit easier for you to know when it's time to recalibrate. But these are just some of the best practices that we'd recommend and what the most common reasons are for recalibrating. So again, temperature changes and then before you scan at big events, really important that you recalibrate then. Okay, one other thing too that we mentioned, right, when you first set up the device is you will get a firmware update, the latest that we have available, but sometimes we'll release updates after you've already set up the device. And so when that's the case, we will have a prompt in the app that will say, hey, there's firmware update available. You can also go and check in the settings tab in the PrywmiO app. If you scroll down to this firmware section, you can hit check for updates and it will tell you if there's a firmware update available or not. One thing I do want to make sure that's clear, I know it gets a little confusing, but we have an app version. I know it gets a little confusing, but we have an app version and we have the PrywmiO firmware version. So again, the firmware is what runs on the device itself. The app is what you get from the App Store. And so when we say, hey, there's a latest app update, right, 1.5, that's something that you will go to the App Store to be able to make sure your app is up to date. Firmware, however, will be checked in the app. And so again, in the PrywmiO app, if there's a firmware update available, we will have a banner in there that says, hey, firmware update available, or you could go and check. So again, 2 different numbers. I know it's a little confusing, but that's what the differences are between the 2. One other thing that's really important to keep in mind as well, this is more so for Android devices than iOS devices, but sometimes people will say, hey, I'm unable to pair, or my device isn't showing up. The most common reason for this is that the Bluetooth and location services aren't enabled in your phone. This is just a phone setting, right? So if you go to your Android phone and go to your settings icon, you'll find your location and Bluetooth services in there. And so here are the instructions to be able to go and find that. But this is just a good troubleshooting tip that we've seen a lot, and just wanted to bring that to attention as well. Just making sure Bluetooth is on and location services are enabled, so that way you can pair your device. If you haven't had issues with it, then you don't need to worry about this section. Okay, so to scan, really easy for scanning the device. We just have one power button. So what you need to do to start a scan is just press that power button. Use that same index finger to scan. The important thing, right, is to use the same finger so you can track change over time. People will say, oh, I can scan multiple different fingers and I get different scores. The answer is, well, yes, every finger is different. We have a unique fingerprint on each finger as well. They're not all the same. Carotenoids do not distribute evenly throughout the skin. If you measure differently, right, you'll get different results. And the point is not to know your number everywhere, right, on all fingers. The idea is that you know where you start and you keep your same measurement, your same fingers, so that you can track change over time. That's what PrywmiO is about. That's what this nutritional wellness score is about, is tracking change over time. So make sure that you use the same finger every time you scan, and then make sure that you don't move during that scan as well. And so from here's a little video. Again, hopefully all of you have had a chance to scan on PrywmiO, but if not, again, there's that blinking red light in the center lens. That indicates that the scan is ready, so you can go and place your finger over the lens to start the scan, and it will start automatically. Also, if you lift your finger up during the scan will be interrupted, and you'll get a light leak alert saying, oh, you removed your finger. Once the scan is done, you'll see a blinking indicator light, and that indicates your color on the device. But then in the app, you'll also see your numerical score as well. And then that LED will flash just for about 7 seconds before the device is ready to scan again. Okay, let's talk a little bit about precision and accuracy. One thing that's, again, really important to keep in mind with this device is, although it looks small, it can fit in your pocket, we need to remember that this is a high science, high precision device. We are measuring such small analytes in the skin. These measurements that we are taking are very, very tiny. Again, like we talked about with that spectral ray technology, we are measuring absorption of light through carotenoids. That is very, very small. The numbers that we use ultimately to turn it into a numerical score are extremely small. And so it's important to follow these best practices every time you scan to help get a consistent score. When you're not cleaning the lens, or you're not holding still during the scan, those little things can impact your score. The same can be said about other diagnostic devices and wearables, right? There's best practices you need to follow. For example, when you get your blood pressure taken, they tell you to uncross your legs, roll your sleeve up, and you always do it on your arm, right? They don't take it in other places. And so the same best practices can then be interpreted as well for PrywmiO, right? There are things that you just need to follow in order to get the best results. And so those things that you can do to help with those results are what we call the 3 Ps. So first is prep. So again, we talked about cleaning that lens. In your PrywmiO case, you'll get a microfiber cloth. So make sure that you're using that microfiber cloth in between every scan. You may think your hands are clean, but we leave fingerprints everywhere. And you can even see that. If you scan on the PrywmiO device and remove your finger, you'll see a fingerprint there. So it's important that in between each scan, it doesn't take long at all. Just do a quick little wipe and make sure that that lens is clean. The other thing too is to make sure that your hands are clean as well. If you just ate lunch, or if you put on lotion, or have been carrying things, right? All that can impact and leave residue on your fingers. And again, because we are looking at such a small number, things like that can interfere with the score and give a differing result. So you may not always have the luxury of being able to wash your hands before every scan. So if you can't, make sure that you can wipe it. If you can use hand sanitizer or something to quickly clean your hands, let it dry, and then scan. That's how you're going to get the best results. The other thing too that's important to keep in mind is pressure. I have a lot of people, when I see them come and scan, the tendency to press on the lens really hard. You don't need to do that. In fact, when you do that, it can actually impact your score even more. So making sure that you have even pressure over the lens. You do not need to press hard. You just need enough to cover the lens to make sure no light is leaking through, but it's just a very gentle press over it. You're just covering the lens. Making sure you have that gentle pressure, making sure that you're also scanning in the center of your index finger, right? Not coming at it at the tip, but making sure that you are placing it flat over the lens will help. And then again, we talked about how the same finger every time is really important as well. The other thing too is making sure that the device is on a flat surface. It's fun to hold up. It's really easy and portable, right? And even for social media, it's kind of fun to hold it up so people can see. But for the most accurate results, most consistent results, make sure that the device is on a flat surface, and that if possible, if the person can be seated while scanning, this will help. But if not, just making sure the device is on a flat surface, and that the person who's scanning, their arm can be flat as well. And that will help with pressure and will help make sure that you're holding still during the scan. But all these little things will help with the score consistency. The other thing as well is make sure that you're scanning indoors. Again, we are measuring light, the absorption of light into the skin. And so if you're in a really bright room, or if you're outside, we do a lot to help prevent excess environmental light leak into the device. But when you're out there in full sun, right, or it's really bright, that can leak through even your own finger and impact your score. And so best practice is to scan indoors if possible. If you are outside, find a shaded spot. Just make sure it's not out in full sun. This will also help with consistent scoring as well. So again, prep, pressure, and position, all of these will help lead to more consistent results. So again, like we mentioned, making sure that you're using that center of your index finger as you are scanning. Making sure that you're not scanning on the tip, but that it's staying flat on the finger pad. And you'll see their best results when scanning this way. So again, seated is best if possible, but if not, making sure that the device is on a flat surface. One thing I get a lot of questions about is charging and how to know if the battery is low. You'll know that the battery is low when that first indicator light flashes red 3 times. It will do this in between each scan. So it'll flash 3 times and then be ready to run a scan. The next time it scans, it will do that same behavior. So you'll always know when the battery is low. We also, I believe 2 app updates ago, we added in a charger icon in the app as well. So you can go and see the battery level of your PrywmiO device. And then when you do notice that it is low, making sure that you charge the device away from water. A lot of questions we get to are, how long does it take to charge? It takes about 5 hours from completely dead battery to full battery to run or to fully charge. And then from there, you can get probably roughly around 200 scans on a full charge as well. So it can run a lot, but yeah, make sure that you charge it regularly to help make sure that you have a full battery. And again, check the app. The app will have that charging icon as well to give you the battery status. And then how do you know if the PrywmiO is fully charged? You can check in the app again, because we have that icon now, or from the device, once when it's charging, it will have a single green LED that kind of rotates through the device. When it's fully charged, there will be 6 green LEDs that just stay solid on. So no blinking, no rotating, just green LED lights on. That's how you know that the device is fully charged. And again, that will take about roughly 5 hours from a completely dead device to show the full charge battery icon. One other thing too to keep in mind is it is a battery, and like most electronic devices, best practice is to not leave it on the charger after it's finished fully charging. So when you see those solid green lights come on, make sure to take it off the charger. Don't leave it on there, as that can over time degrade battery life. So just making sure that you unplug your PrywmiO device once it has reached full charge. This is the travel case that we were talking about as well. Again, best practice is to store your device inside of the travel case. Making sure as well that you put that calibration disc into the travel case as well. It's equally as important to protect that calibration disc to make sure that you have the best calibrations every time. And then make sure it does have a lithium-ion battery in there. So if you are flying with it, check your the airline that you're flying with to see what their policy is on lithium-ion batteries. But it's a great case. Protect that device. Again, that lens we want to make sure stays clean, and we don't want any scratches on it, because again, we are looking at such small measurements. Make sure that you take care of this device as it is a high precision device. And then here's a little video from one of our scientists on how to clean your PrywmiO device.
Many people ask, how can I clean my Prism device? The simple answer is using a microfiber cloth. Do a few short circles on the glass lens of the device. These are objects that people shouldn't be using to clean their device, as they may damage the anti-reflective coating of the glass. Things such as Kleenex, cotton swabs, makeup pads, napkins, or washcloths, or your shirt, or your pants. They may be more convenient, but they could damage the anti-reflective coating, which may cause your device to have a change in performance.
So again, really important to keep that microfiber cloth in there, as that's the best way to be able to clean that lens and keep it protected. So with that, hopefully that you were able to learn something, take some of these best practices into account, and we can't wait to hear your feedback on PrywmiO. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Fiona.
Thank you so much, Haley. After listening to Haley, I believe all our leaders here know the process on how to get started with using the PrywmiO, and of course, make sure to follow the best practices when you use the PrywmiO and when you do the scans, right? So right now, I would like to actually call out our next speaker to talk about new skin PrywmiO app that comes with powerful app features, which is actually able to provide you with data-driven insights into our wellness journey. So he is none other than Jesse Barrett, the Product Marketing Director from New Skin Corporate Office. So Jesse has a very strong background in user experience design, product and strategy design. And he is actually involving in the PrywmiO app development. And he is working diligently every day to actually improve and enhance the app so that the app can actually give us the best user experience and user journey. So let us welcome Jesse. Hello, Jesse.
Hello, and thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. This is always so fun to come join all of you in Southeast Asia. So much great energy coming out of there, and so I'm grateful to be here and love talking about the app, love talking about the user journey and what we're trying to build for the future. We've only had this out for 3 months or so. So I feel like we're still at the starting line. We still have a long ways to go and a lot to do. So let me share my screen. I want to share some cool new things that we have done and stuff that's coming in the future. And Haley did a great job of showing our wonderful Prism device and all the technology and great work that went into building that. The app really is intended to be a perfect companion for this device, to really help you take this device and use it to really explain the benefits and the solutions that Nu Skin has to offer. Nu Skin has always been a solutions company. We've always been there to help people live a better life, discover their best selves, and be better, live better, right? And so Prism, in essence, is helping us turn on the lights for a lot of people who may be sitting in the dark, not sure what the issue is. And when we can actually show them where they are in their nutritional wellness with a device as simple as this for 15 seconds, that it's really powerful to see them then understand how they need to make certain changes, right? Change the way they're living, change what supplements they're taking in order to improve their lives. And that's what the intent of the app is to really help us peak interest, help someone get a score so they can see where they are. It's that turning on the light so they can see, the issues that they couldn't see before. And then helping them and providing them with solutions that they can then take and improve their nutritional wellness with. So I just want to go over what we've released recently with version 1.5. This came out not too long ago. And you can get the update if you haven't updated to 1.5 by just going to the Apple App Store or the Android Play or the Google Play Store and updating your app. Once you've updated it, you'll see some new things in there. One thing that you'll see right away is this new shop tab, which is really more for the person that logs into the app to be able to have an opportunity to go look at the products and to shop. This will be available in all markets, and something that we're really excited about. We're going to continue to build and make that shop tab even more effective and more useful. So we're excited about that. Prism Index is another feature we just released. And this is really coming down to, people that like to scan regularly. If, we only recommend it, at least once a week, scanning yourself. But if you want to scan more regularly, like on a daily basis, what this does is it takes into account multiple scans within a 3-day period or 72 hours. During that time period, it's pretty much taking an average of the scores that you're getting and calculating what we call a Prism Index. And this helps you kind of understand how, every device has inherent variability in it, right? So if you take multiple measurements, you're going to see about a 10% fluctuation in scores. But if you take the index, which is 3 or more scores, you'll actually see a more stable score come through, because now we can see multiple scans, multiple data points, and calculate what we call a Prism Index from that. So it's an optional feature in the app. It's not required, but something that's kind of fun. We've also enabled you to be able to see the Prism profile as you're scanning your guests and your clients and customers. There's now the option to be able to fill out that Prism profile before they even get the scan. This just gives you more options. If they don't want to do it before, they can still do it after the scan if they really want to. So we've given multiple touch points here for the Prism profile so that you can do it before, after, or at another time. So that's 1.5 and we can jump into that app right now, actually. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my phone screen with everybody here, which just takes a second because I want to get into this app and actually show you how powerful it can be for your business. So let's go ahead and share screen, start broadcast. I've got my Prism device here that we're going to be using. I'm just going to turn that on. Okay. Looks like we are good to go. Let me just get rid of my face there. Okay. Here is the Prism app. When you log into the app, for the first time, you'll have to log in. So for anyone that's getting it for the first time or new to it, you will need to make sure that you have your Nu Skin login username and password to get into the app. It won't let you in otherwise. It'll also walk you through just that, like Haley talked about, connecting to the device and doing the first calibration. That calibration is going to be very important when you first get into the device so that when you get into it, you can scan accurately, especially with your customers. The home screen here is really about just showing your latest score. We can do another scan here in a second. I'll show you how the Prism Index works. But the most important tab that you'll probably be using the most is this scan tab here. This is where the magic happens. This is where you're going to be scanning people, scanning clients, scanning yourself, and getting scores. If you have multiple devices, if you happen to purchase a second Prism, you can actually manage all of those devices here very easily. You can see here I have 2 devices that I've connected. The first one is the one that's on, and you can see that it's connected and ready to go. You can also see the battery indicator on there, which is a more recent update that we added as well. There's 2 different ways you can scan. You can scan yourself or scan someone else or a guest, okay? Now, I'm currently logged into the app using an affiliate account, okay? So I have all the features of the affiliate account. Now, if you are a customer account or you have a customer in your downline and they log into the app, just note that some of the features will not be available to them because we have certain features available for the affiliates and certain features available for the customer. The first difference is for an affiliate, you can scan guests. And this is a prospecting tool, right? This is for you to scan your customers and help educate them on wellness. Whereas for customers, the scan guest changes into scan a friend, and it turns into more of a sharing feature where you're sharing a score with a friend. Okay, so there's a little bit of difference there. Just keep that in mind if you have any customers that log in, that there is a little bit of a difference between the 2 experiences. Just right out of the gate, if I want to scan myself, I just click that button down there to scan myself. We can do a scan. I can show you what it's like. I've already cleaned the device off with the cloth. I've cleaned my hand. I am sitting down and I have it on a level surface with very even pressure. Those are all good things to keep in mind as you scan. Okay, so I got my score here. When you scan yourself, you can go through and learn more about your score, learn more about some different factors that influence your score. You can also go in here to view your recommendation. So for me, that's recommending LifePak for me, obviously, because that's our most prominent foundational product. We also have some added support. So now it's recommending some things based on my profile that I filled out already. And that's one thing I would recommend if your first time coming into the app is to fill out that Prism profile so that the recommendation is giving you more intelligent recommendations there. When I'm done, I can come back. Now I'm going to go to the home screen and show you how you can see it converted from a Prism score now to a Prism Index. And my score average now just changed. And if I click on that Prism Index button at the top, it'll show me like, hey, this is kind of how your Prism Index is calculated. It's based on an average of scores, 3 or more scores over the last 72 hours. We do recommend that you wait at least 3 to 5 minutes between scanning just so that your finger has time to kind of return back to its normal state. I know if you push it too many times, it kind of pushes the blood out and it kind of changes the score. So one thing to keep in mind. And you can also fill out your Prism profile from here as well. You can see I did 100% of mine. So now let's talk a little bit about when you're scanning guests. There's 2 different ways you can scan guests. If you click on the little gear icon at the top right-hand corner, it brings up some settings for your PrywmiO. These settings are good to just be familiar with. You can always do a calibration from here. We recommend doing that at least once every 1 to 2 weeks. You have a firmware update that you can check on. But there's also these two different workflow options. The first one is called InfoScan. And what InfoScan is you are collecting the person's name, email, and optionally the phone number up front instead of just scanning them anonymously. We recommend InfoScan because you are now collecting information from your customer, the person you're scanning, and you can actually save that information in the history and track that score over time. So if you happen to have them come in and get scanned, if you have InfoScan enabled, you can collect their information, save their score, and then when they come back, maybe in 1 or 2 months after taking LifePak or some other product, you will be able to see the difference in their score because you saved their information. OpenScan, however, is just an anonymous scan. We're not collecting any information. We're just scanning them so they can see their score. This is particularly helpful in situations where you are scanning a lot of people very quickly, maybe in an expo or an event. And you just want to scan a lot of people quickly. And if they have any questions afterwards, you can always assign that scan to them and collect their information after if you want to. So you have really two different options here. So let's go ahead and start with an InfoScan. I'm going to go back and we'll go ahead and see how this looks. Now, when I say scan a guest, it's going to bring up all the people that I've already scanned up to this point, and I've collected their information. This way, like if someone comes back, I can do a rescan on them really quickly, and I don't have to try to enter their information in every single time. But let's just say we're going to add a new person. I'll go back here. That button at the top right-hand corner says Add New. You just click that, and now you are here. You're able to enter their information. Let's just make up a name here that way you can demo and enter their contact information. I entered that in wrong. There we go. Okay, and now we can continue to the privacy. Now, every new scannee that you put in will need to agree to the privacy and legal terms that we have. And that just all goes into actually sharing their information with Nu Skin and with our affiliates. So they are agreeing to that at this time. Now, after they do that, they do have an option here to enter their profile. And they can actually go in and fill out their Prism profile here. If you say yes, then it takes you right in where you can enter their birth date. You can, fill out all their information. Wait, John's going to be male there. And fill everything out. Now, some things they might want to skip. They could skip questions if they don't feel comfortable answering them. You can ask about their workout routine, how much sun exposure they're getting. Do they smoke or not smoke? How many hours of sleep they're getting. These are all factors that influence our score. And we want to gather this information to not only help educate them on what they're doing and what they're not doing, but also so that we can collect it and help better educate the world on what factors are actually improving our scores and which are not. If they're taking any products, we'd like to gather that information and how often. Are they taking it 1 time a day? Are they taking it 2 times a day? And once they finish, it'll take you back now and set them up for the scan. Now let's go ahead and pretend John is scanning here. I'm just gonna put something over the lens here to scan. And it takes 15 seconds. As soon as they're done, they're gonna be asking you all sorts of questions. Like, okay, you just scanned me. What does this score mean? That's the first question we always hear people say is, okay, that's great. I don't know if that's good or bad. And so we wanted to make sure that in here, we first of all, just show them where their score is, right, on this scale and what it's kind of associated with. And this is really showing you the amount of carotenoids in your skin, right? Antioxidants are powerful, protectants in our body that really help and keep us healthy and strong. And so when you have a high score, you have a lot of these carotenoids in your body that are really protecting and really, putting up your defense in all areas of your body. On the low side, that means you're not having as much. And so really explaining what that score means and then the different things they can do to really help improve that score is going to be key here. Now, we are improving this whole experience too, and we're going to be adding more material here for you guys to help explain what this score means even better in coming months. When you come to the recommended tab here, after you've explained the results to them, if they haven't answered all the questions, like I skipped some of the questions, it'll still prompt you to finish the profile, but you can always skip that and go straight into the new intelligence recommendation here. Now, New Intelligence is using AI to build their product recommendation. And so based on what I inputted in there, it's recommending LifePak. And if you want added support, then it's now recommending LifePak with Beauty Focus. And with the more comprehensive support, LifePak, Beauty Focus, and PrywmiO. It's saying, I need to exercise a little bit more there, I think. And what's cool about this is you can use any of these if you want to with the quick share feature here. You can see under each one, you can click this quick share, or you can even add a discount if you want to. That discount then just figures into whatever price you have in here. You can also switch the pricing on here from member price to retail price. We kind of let you do that in the settings back on the home screen of the app or the home tab. You can actually change from retail to member price. If you want to sell at retail price, you can do that. If you want to sell at member price, you can do that as well. But the quick share feature here is just like in Stella, when you create a offer and send them a quick share offer, you just click that quick share and you can send it via text message, via email. You can send it however you'd like. Now, let's say you see the intelligent recommendation. You're like, I feel like there are some better options here that I recommend personally. You can always click this custom tab here on the right side and just go ahead and build your own custom product offer. Say you want to recommend some PrywmiO or you want to do some Beauty Focus and you want to add 3 different products here. You can go ahead and add that and then add that to a quick share right away and send that to them. So we really want to make it flexible for you guys so that you can use the AI intelligence, but also if you want to just send a quick custom recommendation, you can do that as well, which is really, really cool. So from here, you can either rescan the person, say, they didn't do it quite right, or you need to fix their finger placement. You can do a rescan. You can also just jump to the next person. If you're scanning multiple people at an event, you can click next scan and go ahead and start a new scannee, or you can go back home to the device home screen. So these are kind of some of the features that are built into the scan flow. Like I said, it's really designed to help people scan, understand their score, and then get them a product offer in their email, in their text message, send them some products so they can now start looking at it. They will also receive an email from Nu Skin with their score. If they entered all their information, they'll receive their score and some more information about what their score means in products. And so that email goes out to everybody today that enters their information. So you have to make sure you enter that name and email in order to get that email sent to them. If they have any questions about their score, there's some other resources in here, like they can go into the Learn section. The Learn section really is all about just helping people understand these 4 different areas of PRISM: nutrition, lifestyle, fitness, and supplementation. And it gives you some more information about things they can do to really help improve their score, foods they can eat. This kind of shows, the global scans and how the scan numbers kind of change based on the amount of fruits and vegetables people ate. And this is based on the S3 data that we gathered for the last 20 years. You can see that when people are eating less fruits and vegetables, they score lower. When they eat more, that graph shifts to the right, showing that people are actually scoring better when they do have a strong diet. Lifestyle, same thing with smoking. You can see people that, smoke tobacco are very much on the low end, right? But when they've never smoked, that curve kind of normalizes. Supplementation is probably one of the more powerful ones. You can see people that are on LifePak are really more normalized, right? The curve is more normal versus people that never take LifePak tend to fall within what we call the average for most people that are not on LifePak. Like they're usually down in the lower areas. And so being able to see the shift by just taking LifePak once a day is a huge shift, but twice a day, even more. So there's a lot of benefits that come from the products. The next tab I want to show you is the shop tab. We talked about this briefly. This was a new addition to the 1.5 release. We do have the recommended tab in here. This is the same information that you saw when I scanned, but this is recommended for me personally. Discover is just all the Prism related products that we have currently in the app. So this is going to be Prism certified products, also Prism lifestyle products. And you can do a search here for any of the products that we have currently in the app today. History tab, this one is interesting because you have all your saved scans here. You also have all the scans that you performed on yourself and your scannees. So if you wanted to come in here and view John Smith's record again, you could come in again. You could go into his profile. You could view the answers that he gave in his profile, or come back out here. You can finish the profile. You can also see what was recommended in the history of scans. Now, let's say you scan someone anonymously in open mode, and they said, I want more information. Well, you can go into your unassigned scans and say, okay, I just scanned you. You scored 560. Let's go ahead and assign that scan to a new person now that they want more information. And you can actually add a new person here and get them all set up, and they move over to your scannee list. So that unassigned scans is really, a powerful place for you to start to get people added back into your scannee pool so you can then track them from there. Okay, with that is the entire app experience. I wanted to quickly show you some cool things we have coming in the pipeline. So let me just quickly stop sharing and pull back up my slides here. Okay, this is kind of showing again that email that goes out. Now, if you're a customer account, you can also share that email out with your friends if you're scanning your friends. So whether it's a scannee or a friend, you can still share that email. And this is kind of what it looks like on the right-hand side. It has the score and some information about how they can improve their score, and really cool stuff in there. 1.6, this is just a sneak peek of what's coming next month, okay? We want to really enhance the shopping experience. And one way we're going to be able to do that is by adding the PDPs to the shopping experience. So if you see in there right now, you'll see the product cards are in there. But currently we don't have any way of looking at all the details that exist within the product. So when you click on the product in this next release, it'll actually have all the information about the product that they can see real quickly, all the benefits, and digging deeper as you educate your customers. So we're going to be adding that. We're going to be improving the calibration flow, making it so that it's real easy to calibrate. It'll save your discs, your disc numbers in there so that you don't have to enter it every time. Calibration check is going to just let you scan the disc for 15 seconds real quick, and it will tell you whether or not your device is still calibrated or not. That will just give you some more assurance that your device is operating correctly. We're also going to add some temperature warnings in there because I know sometimes we can shift temperatures, and it might be good to recalibrate at that new temperature, or at least let it acclimate to that new temperature. So improving the overall scanning experience so that we get better results. Also, lastly, we're going to be adding just some more steps to help remind people about how to better condition their device and making sure it's ready for scanning by prepping it and cleaning it, and using best practices that Haley went over. Also, we're going to be able to have in your history section a way to filter all of your scannees and search for them by name. So that will just make it easier for you to find the people that you're looking for in that. So this is coming next month. We're really excited about some of these new features. We have more details here of each of the features on this page here, but great things are coming. We're really excited. And just so you know, this is just the next update, but there's a lot more planned for next quarter, where we're going to really make this an enriching experience for every single customer. We're going to make the product recommendations smarter. We're going to really help educate and people understand what their score really means and why it matters so much. And that's all coming very, very soon. I mean, next quarter is just around the corner here, so we're really excited about that. But with that, I'll turn it back to you, Fiona, and let me know if I missed anything.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Wow, you know, while you are actually doing explanation, we receive a lot of questions from the question functions, but no worry. Haley actually managed to help us to answer some of the questions. So once again, thank you so much, Jesse. You know, leaders, I hope that you can have a better understanding on how to actually utilize the app, and also appreciate that the PrywmiO app really delivers a thoughtful end-to-end user experience as we are continue to actually improve, enhance the app functions and the features. So it is important for you to actually pair with the PrywmiO with the apps, and also get more data-driven insights from the app, such as the Prism score, how to improve your Prism score, the product recommendation, and so on, to share with your customers, right? So once again, I would like to thank you, Haley and Jesse, for sharing with us for today's webinar. Okay, so hopefully we will see you soon, and of course, we will actually invite our speakers to speak with you on the PrywmiO. So up next, I would like to re-emphasize again, you know, and in this year, Nu Skin has a big goal in which we want to actually tag PrywmiO and of course our products to reach more people, to reach 1 million healthy households in 2026 this year globally. And we hope that PrywmiO is a powerful business tool for you to attract and engage new customers. And you know, by knowing the Prism score, customer can actually take actions to improve their nutritional health. And one of the approaches is to tag the Prism certified products. So like Haley mentioned at the beginning of our webinar, globally, we have 1 million scans with PrywmiO. And right now, with the involvement from all our leaders like you, CPAC has actually reached about 157,000 scans with the PrywmiO. And Prism is actually built upon 20 over years of antioxidant science and research, validated over through 20 million global scan data. And of course, we have multiple clinical studies on the PrywmiO. And with each scan from the PrywmiO, it's not just a scan, you know, it's actually a reflection of our nutritional health, our whole body wellness. So every time we think we actually eat healthy, we live healthier, but we actually do not know that our actual diet and lifestyle can be really different than the ideal or the recommended diet and lifestyle. Okay, so with the PrywmiO, we can actually make others to know about their nutritional health, and we can actually help them to know if their supplements are working well for them. So right now, you have the PrywmiO with you. We hope that you can start scan the world, leverage on the PrywmiO to reach more people, get them scanned, share with them the importance of maintaining good nutritional health, and how Nu Skin can actually support them with a better nutritional approach through our Prism certified products and our subscription program. Okay, so leaders, if you can do it, please type 111 in the chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, leaders. I love the energy from you. After our 1 hour webinar, you are still so energetic out there. Okay, so all right, leaders, we have come to the end of our webinar for today. We hope that you get all the information you need to know about the PrywmiO and of course the app. And for leaders who actually send us the questions that we are not in time to answer you, no worry, we will approach you personally on your questions. So stay tuned for our next webinar, and we will end our webinar for today with a video. Have a great day. Thank you, and we shall see you very, very soon. Thank you so much, leaders. And once again, thanks, Jessie and Haley.